here's Brody Brazil.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this series profiling 2023 Oakland A's players. And how about we just dive into a newcomer, Trevor May. I've got a sneaking suspicion we're all really going to like Trevor May. The more we see him, the more we get to know him as a person and as a ball player. Did you see his introductory press conference, by the way? Talk about winning over A's fans. My goodness, he's excited to be here. He loves Northern California. He's a big music guy from our region, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. But here are the basics on Mr. May. Opening day, he'll be 33 years old. The reliever comes in with 8 years, 12 days of big league service time. And he's been around the block. 8 years and 8 seasons of baseball with Minnesota and the Mets. His record 32-24, 12 saves, a 4.35 ERA. He has made 26 total starts. I don't know that that is necessarily in the cards for him with the A's. I think they obtained him specifically for bullpen purposes, but 480 strikeouts over his 403 2/3 big league innings pitched. He's on a 1-year deal. People have already said, well, if he does so well, he may not finish the season in Oakland. I don't want to go that far, but it is important to take note that at 33 years old, this is a 1-year deal for him. He's definitely looking to rebound from how last year went, and most specifically how last year went with the big injury, the triceps injury that had him out and on the 60-day injured list. I think his last game was May 2nd, and he didn't come back until the 3rd of August. So missed a heavy portion of last summer with that injury. The overall record, 2-0, a 5.04 ERA, 30 strikeouts in 26 total appearances, 25 innings pitched, and he recorded 6 holds for the Metropolitans. He actually, finished strong. Final 10 games, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, and 15 strikeouts. So one of those situations where you kind of wonder about the beginning of the year, how it started, if that injury was really affecting him until he finally got it taken care of. His first 8 outings, sporting an 8.64 ERA. I don't want to speak for Trevor. I was not intimately following or covering the Mets when all this happened, but from the outside looking in, right, it does paint kind of a clear-cut picture. Something was not right. Things were not going well. He got it taken care of. In terms of his pitch usage last season, 52% of the time went with the heater at an average velocity of 96 miles an hour. So he can throw a pretty good fastball. 26% of the time used the slider. That comes in at 85 miles an hour velo. And 22% of the time, he used the changeup that hits the gun at 87 on average. He's got a fastball whiff rate from last season of 27%. And how about this? From August 1st on, had a 37.3 whiff rate on his fastball, which among that time span and among other big league pitchers, he was 5th highest in Major League Baseball. So when he came back, the heater was working for Trevor May, a 37.3 whiff rate on that pitch. So obviously we're thinking about him in the A's bullpen. It's an area that they could use some help, some veteran experience, some solidity. I don't know the exact role that he might slide into. You're hoping it's an everyday role or a very frequent role. You're hoping that it can be the same thing over and over. Is it to come in right after the starter? Is he a setup guy? Is he an 8th inning guy? Is he a 7th inning guy? I wouldn't even close the book or the door on closing games. There are some other choices. I like Danny Jimenez. I like Domingo Acevedo. I still don't know what the end projection is for A.J. Puck. Trevor May has done this before, so he can do it. I don't know if that's necessarily where the A's want him the most or need him the most, but it is nice that there is an option out there. Getting a reliever is something this team has needed for a while, acquiring from the outside instead of trying to find somebody from within. Be a veteran, just do what you do. This team, again, can kind of need your experience, your personality. Get into that in just a second. I hope he can stay healthy. It does seem like last year was one of those just injury impacted seasons, one where you got a quick taste of the beginning of the year, a little more than a month, and then all of a sudden on the shelf for multiple months, having to come back, start your season all over again just for a short time span at the very end. So stay healthy. The A's can definitely use and need that. And then last but not least here, I'll go back to this, the interviews. I am selfishly so excited to learn more about Trevor May, to gain from his perspectives and how open and honest and what a great communicator he is. By the way, you're here on YouTube. Have you checked out Trevor May's channel? He just put out a video about the top 22 or 25 perks that big league baseball players get that you've never even heard of. Now, I knew of a lot of them, but some of them even I wasn't really thinking about in that way. So I love the fact that he's on our wavelength. He's a YouTuber. He's also a baseball player. But I can't wait to have him on the team. I think he's going to offer, kind of like the Stephen Vogt-like refreshing perspectives on where things are at, how the team is doing, his own performance, etc. So I know it's a weird thing to say, oh, I'm excited about the interviews, but I hope Trevor May does well, and I hope we get to hear from him on a pretty regular basis. So there he is, kind of a Carson Daly lookalike, right? I can't be the only one who's thinking that. I mean, there's that photo, which by the way is completely photoshopped. The A's did that. Look how big his hat is on his head. Like that, that hat was on somebody else's head. But I don't know. He kind of got the eyes and the bone structure of Carson Daly, a young Carson Daly, like the TRL days. Some of you probably don't even know who I'm talking about. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video, Trevor May. Hopefully you never saw what I just said there. This is the player profile. Thumbs up on it if you like this video. And subscribe to my channel. I've got lots more of these and other great A's content coming out right around the corner. See you then.